Morning, guys.
Morning.
How's everybody this morning? I know how you are, Brad. So first off, I've got this. I thought we would resolve this. The following trucks are uploading fuel in their tablets. Wright Express gets entered at the Lakeville office. All the truck numbers on here are trucks from our site. Is anybody loading fuel, recording fuel in their tablets?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were told to.
That's
We
what
were told to.
we're all told to.
There was a note
Okay.
hanging on the wall there.
Instruction was effective May 1st.
All right, thank you. Just want to make sure we had that on camera so that I can respond back to this, okay? That we were told to. That's correct by the time it comes.
Put fuel and.
Thank you, everybody, for doing that. No, we were told to, and if it's changed since then, I'll find out about that.
But until then, we hear from you, we keep doing it.
Until then, I got this email yesterday, so just wanted to address that. So, safety training today, guys. Ray,
Yes.
did you read the top of that? What's our safety training about today?
A review with Ray and the team.
Ray and the team. Shouldn't have been team and Ray. Top Ray.
What to look for?
What do you see?
Okay.
I see a bunch of orange people standing
Yellow.
there. No,
Right.
that's right. But I also see team.
Okay. So when you look at the team, what do you see, Ray?
Help. Knowledge.
Okay.
Everybody is together.
Yep. Togetherness, right?
And yesterday, I just want to bring it up that yesterday about mid-noon, Brian McCullen reached out to me to find out if I needed a little help with my route, because he knew I had to come back here yesterday morning and take care of some other business, just to see how I was doing on the route. And not to see that I needed help, he just wanted to reach out to make sure I was doing all right. So thank you, Brian, for that.
So, guys, a little disturbing this morning. Joey, every time you walk in my office and you look at this, what do?
Turn it over.
Why do you turn that over?
It's disturbing.
Pass it around. Why is it disturbing? Okay.
Because I see my daughter in there.
Okay. So you see somebody you love, right? That's very special to you. I'm going to do a personal share with you guys this morning about something that's happened 40 years ago, and still to this day, it makes my gut throw up and it makes me tear up. Graduated high school, very good friend named Craig Magnuson. Graduated North St. Paul High School. His dad hauled blacktop for Shifsky's Blacktop out of North St. Paul. They moved to Stillwater, so he lived in Stillwater and drove to North St. Paul because they moved midway through high school. The only thing Craig wanted to do the minute he graduated was he had purchased an end dump already at 18 years old. Beautiful blue Peterbilt with a beautiful aluminum end dump trailer. Wanted to haul asphalt just like his old man. The day after we graduated, he got in the truck that Monday morning. They lived in Stillwater, which is towards the St. Croix River from North St. Paul. Started the truck up, headed on down the road on Highway 36, and his tires began to thump. He had a 2-year-old daughter that they had, well, him and his girlfriend had while they were in high school. You guys want to tell me why his tires started to thump?
His daughter was in the tires.
What was left of his daughter was in the tires. In those days, never did we ever get in a truck, we turned the key and we went. So if this doesn't disturb you, I don't know what does. And that's a personal story, and I'm sure everybody's got one, and I would love to hear them. But, for example, how about our clam loader sitting out back? Not fenced in, not locked up. Is there any possibility that there could be a child or somebody with their children down here after hours? What could happen? The reason why I brought this up this morning is because I didn't realize it until last week, but every time Joey walked in the office, he'd turn this over, and it was really disturbing to him. And I shared that story, my story, and my friend's story with Joey. I'm going to ask the tough question, has anybody ever seen a child playing on or around or underneath a truck? Or a piece of equipment or a car at home?
All the time.
So how important is it that we do our pre-trips and our walk-arounds? when we stop for lunch, guys, we chalk our tires, we get out, we go in and have dinner at Hardee's, Eagles, wherever we do it. We doing a walk around when we get done with dinner?
Go to the truck, pull the shop, start her up.
What do you think would be a great idea to start to do?
Your
George, I noticed the other day you had your rear wheels chalked rather than your front ones.
There's
So-
a toolbox right there in that truck.
Right.
That way it's a lot easier.
So if you walk that far back to your rear wheels, what can you,
Like you
keep
you
doing
You
to-
can look in between and see if there's anything there.
okay?
do a
excellent.
full walk around.
Yep, and then continue around the truck. So, I wanted to share that with you guys this morning. I want to share it with you every morning, but, 3 fatalities this week at Waste Management. Okay? What we do know is each one of those fatalities involved one of our employees and or one of our pieces of equipment. One was a front end load truck. One was a crapper truck, a portalette truck. And I don't remember what the other one was, but I believe it involved a bicyclist. I'll dig the postings up and put them out so we can read, because I want to be accurate. But what do we know about all 3 of those incidences? They're under investigation.
Somebody's not coming home.
Right.
Could have been preventable maybe.
Always preventable, thank you, but always preventable. But what else do we know about, what else, you're right, Brian, first and foremost, somebody's not going home. You know, and there's multiple lives, when that happens. But what do we know about our employees? It's still under investigation. I haven't heard finally whose exact fault it was, but what do we know that we had a part in at the very least?
3 guys.
Okay. How does that affect the team? One was in California. I mean, they weren't here obviously, but how does that affect our team?
One of our team members lost their life. I guess it doesn't matter if it's here or halfway across the country, it's still part of the team.
It's still a high-vis shirt that doesn't get put on the next day, right? Gets thrown away, gets put in a coffin. What's happened to us last Friday and Wednesday? What's happened here at our site? Last Friday, what happened?
With the incident with the pickup,
What happened Wednesday?
That is, with me trying to get around a grader and I ended up way down in the ditch.
So we've been going along great this year, guys. Safety's been great, and it still is. But what can happen that quick? Does those frequency, severity, how do those incidences that luckily we came out on top of? There was no injuries, there was no rollover. There was minimal damage to something that we can fix. But what happens? How does that impact our day?
Impacts is huge because the whole team has to pick up that slack. Like for an example, Wednesday, I was pulled off the truck. But the day that impacted everybody that had to go out and finish their route and then come out and help me, so.
interrupts the flow of the workday.
I think as a driver, we are, well, not even at home or wherever you're at, you have to be thinking safety because you have so many odds against you with cell phones and kids and bicycles and everything. You have to be on top of your game all the time. And be thinking about what kind of scenario could I be getting into all the time. You're going down the road and somebody's coming this way, a bicycle here, you gotta be thinking how to prevent what might occur. I'm not saying that you can't stop everything because that's, impossible, but I mean, if you're trying to stay on top of your game all the time, being aware of what's going on, going down the highway and somebody's tailgating you, you got to keep an eye on it, I mean, there's just, every minute of the day, I think you pretty much got to be playing that what if game, what if this happens, what should I do, or where should I be, or how fast should, I think it's just a safety thing that we have to do all day long.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that. Absolutely. So again, Ray, what question do we ask ourselves every morning?
what to look for, and what do you do and see.
I could have saved a life that day. I could have saved a life that day, but I chose to look the other way. It wasn't that I didn't care. I had the time and I was there. But I didn't want to seem a fool or argue over a safety rule. I knew he'd done the job before. If I spoke up, he might get sore. The chances didn't seem that bad. I'd done the same and he knew I had. So I shook my head and walked on by. He knew the risks as well as I. He took a chance, I closed an eye, and with the act I let him die. I could have saved a life that day, but I chose to look the other way. Now every time I see his wife, I'll know I should have saved his life. That guilt is something I must bear, but it isn't something you need to share. Do we need to share stuff like that?
Yes.
Why?
Get your feelings out. And knowing that you gotta get rid of your guilt, because it'll kill you eventually.
And identify what?
Identify that something went wrong.
If you see a risk that others take that puts their health or life at stake, the question you asked or the thing you say could have helped them live another day. The reason we talk about this stuff, guys, is that we're having a great time here at Bemidji. We're talking about teamwork and we're excited about it, and everybody's been doing it. Been doing it all along, but in the last 2 weeks, we really upped the game. Guys getting in touch with each other, helping each other out. But let's never forget. I'm gonna tell for a minute, let's never forget to coach each other. Why do we coach each other?
Constantly get better.
If I ask you to put your safety glasses on, Brian, you gonna get mad at me? If you do I care? Obviously I do, or I wouldn't ask you to put them on, right? If you see a risk and walk away, then hope you never have to say, I could have saved a life that day, but I chose to look the other way. I don't think we can read this enough and go through the meaning of it. We could spend all day dissecting it. You know, my personal story this morning, 1 week after the death of that child, my friend Craig Magnuson, his wife tried to kill him. She ended up locked up for 8 years. 2 years later, he put a bullet in his head. To be honest with you, I'm surprised he stayed on that long. So how many lives did that ruin?
Family.
Even beyond, right? Let's think about that every time we make decisions, guys. Let's have a great, safe day.